Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Kimia Etimadi, a translator whose specialist subject is the poetry of Dame Carol Ann Duffy. Sharon Chambers, a contact centre representative, her subject is the comedy series The League of Gentlemen. Graham Barton, a solicitor, he's answering questions on the racing driver Nigel Mansell. And Matthew Harper, an insurance inspector, his specialist subject, the Belgian surrealist artist René Magritte. Sadly, there can only be one contender tonight who goes through to the semi-finals, set fair perhaps on a road to quizzing immortality. Who will it be? After 2 minutes on their specialist subject and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Maybe it's written in the stars. A fortune teller might have a clue, but I certainly don't, because the pressure here at Mastermind can scramble the best of brains. Good luck to one and all. So, can I ask our first contender to join us, please? Your name?
Kimia Etimadi.
Your occupation?
Translator.
And your specialist subject?
The poetry of Dame Carol Ann Duffy.
The Glasgow-born author who, in 2009, became the first female and first Scottish poet laureate of the UK. In 2 minutes, let's go. What's the title of Carol Ann Duffy's first poetry collection, published in 1985, the title poem of which is a model's interior monologue while a male artist paints her in a cubist style?
Standing female nude.
Yes, make me your bride, make me your love, make me your spouse, and make me your wife are the last lines of 4 of the verses of which poem?
Havisham.
No, betrothal, in Head of English, which begins, today we have a poet in the class. It's revealed in the second verse that the school is paying the poet how much as a fee?
£10.
No, £40. The narrator of Ash Wednesday, 1984, recalls giving up what sweets for Lent?
Bonbons.
No, gobstoppers. Again, the endless northern rain between us like a veil. Tonight, I know exactly where you are, which row, which seat, are the opening lines of which poem about a concert venue?
Bridgewater Hall.
Yes, a trio of artworks described in the 3 paintings are entitled The One-Eyed Flautist Plays for the Prince, The Virgin Punishing the Infant, and what?
The Mother.
No, Jane Avril dancing in The Laughter of Stafford Girls High. A teacher referred to as Miss V. Dunn, M.A., is writing a list of rivers of England on the blackboard. Which is the first river on the list?
Thames.
No, the River Bravey. In 2008, which of Duffy's poems, which begins with the line, "Today I'm going to kill something," was removed from a GCSE poetry anthology after complaints that it endorsed a culture of violence?
Education for Leisure.
Yes, the poem entitled Woman Seated in the Underground, 1941, was inspired by a drawing by which British artist?
Smith.
No, Henry Moore, according to the narrator of the Poem Talent Contest. Farmyard noises, takes out his teeth, ambitious, in for the lot, while which of the other contestants has no chance?
School Children.
No, The Spoon Player. Gambler is a poem. I've started to all finish. Gambler is a poem about a woman who bets on horses based on the sound of their names. What's the name of the horse she selects that's a 5-2 favourite?
Betsy.
No, it was Sharp Spice. So, Kimia, at the end of that round, you had no passes. You've got 3 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. Your name?
Sharon Chambers.
Your occupation?
Contact Centre Representative.
And your specialist subject?
The League of Gentlemen.
Yes, the dark comedy world explored in the television sitcom, radio series, feature film, and several live stage shows. In 2 minutes, let's go. The first scene of the television series, The League of Gentlemen, begins with which character travelling by train to Royston Vasey?
Benjamin.
Yes.
Benton.
In a scene, in Shabab's restaurant, an increasingly irate Jeff demands that Mike tell Brian a joke about fruit, in which the punchline is eventually revealed to be death by what?
Mau Mau.
Yes, in Series 1, the 2 surveyors from the PQ Construction Company who come to an unfortunate end after visiting the local shop are called Mr. Wint and Mr. what?
Kid.
Yes, at the local school, the theatre troupe Legs Akimbo perform a new play about sexuality with what title?
Everybody Out.
Yes, at the St. Mary of Bethlehem Hospital mortuary, Dr. Simon is forced to play Go Johnny Go 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 Go, a card game described as being like a cross between Hoover and what other game?
Bridge.
No, 8 Men Down. During his tour of Stump Hole Caverns, the tormented guide Mick McNamara gives the nicknames of some of the limestone formations, including an upwardly protruding stalagmite, named after which film star?
Errol Flynn.
Yes, when Ross questions the restart officer Pauline Campbell-Jones as part of a role-play job interview, he confounds her by asking whether she has what sort of personality.
Egregious.
Yes, in episodes of Series 2, the credits state that the programme is filmed on location with the kind cooperation of the people of which town in High Peak, Derbyshire?
Hatfield.
Yes, at the start of the Christmas special, an unseasonable quotation by which German philosopher is seen on the Chapel of Hope, church hoarding?
Kant.
No, Nietzsche. In the film The League of Gentlemen's Apocalypse, the characters of Royston Vasey meet their real-life creators, with the non-acting member of the group, Jeremy Dyson, being played by which actor?
Michael Sheen.
Yes, in the radio series On the Town with the League of Gentlemen. What's the name of the show presented by the agony aunt Bernice Woodall on Spent FM?
Tears Before Bedtime.
No, Hours of Agony. In the pantomime stage show The League of Gentlemen Are Behind You, the bickering couple Charlie Hull and his wife Stella play each end... I've started so I'll finish. Play each end of a pantomime cow known by what name?
Betsy.
No, it's Daisy. So, Sharon, at the end of that round, no passes. You've got 8 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. Your name?
Graham Barton.
Your occupation?
Solicitor.
And your specialist subject?
Nigel Mansell.
The motor racing driver born in 1953 who won world championships in both Formula One and IndyCar racing. In 2 minutes, let's go. On completing his engineering studies at Matthew Bolton College in Birmingham, Nigel Mansell began a full apprenticeship at which company?
Lucas Aerospace.
Yes, after a difficult first season in Formula 3 in 1978, Mansell secured a role the following year with which team, where he was paid £25 a week?
Unipart Racing.
Yes, in a Formula 3 race at Alton Park in 1979, Mansell sustained serious spinal injuries after a collision with which driver who would be a future rival in Formula 1?
Andrea de Cesaris.
Yes, after testing at the Paul Ricard circuit in France, which driver turned down the offer of a contract as a Formula 1 test driver for Lotus, leaving the way clear for Mansell to take the position?
Stephen South.
Yes, in which country's Grand Prix did Mansell make his Formula 1 debut in 1980, although he was forced to retire after 40 laps with a blown engine?
Austria.
Yes, in each of his first 2 full seasons in Formula 1 in 1981 and 82, Mansell finished in what position in the Drivers' Championship?
14th.
Yes, which American city staged the 9th Grand Prix of the 1984 Formula 1 season, memorable for Mansell's collapse on the track after he'd got out of his car to try to push it over the finishing line with a broken transmission?
Dallas.
Yes, Mansell crashed out of the 1986 Australian Grand Prix after his left rear tyre exploded at high speed while he was in 3rd position, causing him to lose the driver's title to Alain Prost by how many points?
2 points.
Yes, when Mansell began driving for Ferrari in 1989, the team's fans accorded him what nickname on account of his courage and fearless driving style?
Il Leone.
Yes, what was the name of the engineer who maintained and serviced Mansell's car while he drove for Ferrari?
Mauricio Nardon.
Yes, Mansell secured the points he needed to win the 1992 Formula 1 driver's title with 5 races still to be held after finishing 2nd to which driver in the Hungarian Grand Prix?
Ayrton Senna.
Yes, on his switch to IndyCar racing in 1993, Mansell made a winning debut in the first race of the season, driving for the Newman-Haas team at which track?
Surfers Paradise.
Yes, which member of the Lotus team did Mansell help to save from drowning? I've started, so I'll finish. Helped to save from drowning while swimming in the sea off Rio de Janeiro in March 1981, almost drowning himself in the process.
Peter Collins.
It was Peter Collins. Graham, at the end of that round, you got them all right. 13 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. Your name?
Matthew Harper.
Your occupation?
Insurance inspector.
Your specialist subject.
René Magritte.
Yes, the acclaimed Belgian surrealist artist. In 2 minutes. Let's go. Which 7th century saint's name did Magritte's parents, Leopold and Regina, bestow as a middle name upon René and his brothers, Raymond and Paul?
Ghislaine.
Yes. In 1916, Magritte was officially registered as a student at which art school in Brussels, where he studied intermittently for several years?
The Académie des Beaux-Arts.
Yes. In his paintings, The Barbarian and The Flame Rekindled, Magritte depicted which fictional villain from the crime novels of Marcel Alain and Pierre Souvestre?
Fantomas.
Yes. Which of his friends did Magritte portray as a magician in a 1930 portrait emblazoned with large letters spelling the word revolver across the bottom of the painting?
Paul Nouget.
No, E.L.T. Mason's. The title of Magritte's 1942 painting, The League of Frightened Men, is taken from a detective novel by which American author?
Poe.
No, Rex Stout. Over the course of his career, Magritte painted at least 16 oil versions and several gouaches, of which work incongruously depicting a nighttime street scene under a bright daytime sky.
Empire of Light.
Yes, in Magritte's 1952 painting, Personal Values, what everyday item is depicted standing upright on a bed?
A comb.
Yes, which wealthy British art patron invited Magritte to share his home in Wimpole Street in London for a few months in 1937 and commissioned him to paint 3 panels for installation in his ballroom?
Edward James.
Yes, in Magritte's 1929 painting, Threatening Weather, 3 outsized objects float like clouds in a clear sky. They are a human torso, a chair, and what musical instrument?
Tuba.
Yes, Magritte produced a set of pen and ink drawings to illustrate a 1948 edition of which 19th century poetic novel by the Comte de Lautréamont?
At the Tales of Maldoror.
No, it's the Songs of Maldoror, which 1927 Magritte work, the first of his so-called word paintings, features 4 objects, including a hold all labelled The Sky and a leaf labelled The Table.
Threatened Weather.
No, The Key of Dreams. And Matthew, at the end of that round, no passes, you've got 7 points.
Thank you.
And at the end of the specialist subjects round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 3 points, it's Kimia. In 3rd place with 7 points, it's Matthew. In 2nd place with 8 points, it's Sharon. And in 1st place with 13 points, it's Graham. So now it's general knowledge, and if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, then it's a tie break. So let's ask Kimia to join us again, please. So, Kimia, you start with 3 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. What prehistoric stone circle, a major tourist attraction, is situated on Salisbury Plain, about 2 miles west of the town of Amesbury?
Stonehenge.
Yes. John Prescott served as Deputy Prime Minister under which UK Prime Minister?
Margaret Thatcher.
No, Tony Blair. Kelvin Kiptum, who won the men's elite race at the 2023 London Marathon, represents which East African country?
Kenya.
Yes. What name from Greek words for fire and madness is given to a disorder characterized by a compulsion to set things ablaze?
Kleptomania.
No, Pyromania, Foxtrot, and Selling England by the Pound are albums released in the 1970s by which British rock band?
The Rolling Stones.
No, Genesis. Monterey Jack is a mild, yellowish, medium-hard variety of what dairy product?
Cheese.
Yes. In the 1967 animated film The Jungle Book, the song The Bare Necessities is sung by which character voiced by Phil Harris?
Baloo.
Yes. Which American city, named after a famous explorer who died in 1506, is the state capital of Ohio?
Columbus.
Yes. In the abbreviation PV relating to the conversion of light into electric power by solar panels, the letters PV stand for what term?
Power variable.
No, photovoltaics. What 1998 musical is based on the life of Viv Nicholson, who in the 1960s won more than £150,000 on the football pools?
Hairspray.
No, Spend, Spend, Spend. Which large species of sea turtle, sometimes called the lute turtle, gets its common name from its ridged, rubbery shell, coloured dark brown or black?
Hardback.
No, leatherback turtle. What television sitcom's final episode, broadcast on Christmas Day in 2003, is entitled Sleepless in Peckham?
Royal family.
No, Only Fools and Horses. What organisation was founded in 1873 by the MP Sir Wallace Evelyn Shirley and others to ensure consistent rules at dog shows and in field trials events?
RSPCA.
No, the Kennel Club. In Greek mythology, Amphitrite, the daughter of Nereus, was the wife of which god of the sea?
Poseidon.
Yes, the $10 billion successor to the Hubble Space Telescope, which in 2022 produced its first images of the universe, is named after which former NASA administrator?
Hubbard.
No, James Webb. Which Russian composer's Symphony No. 1 in G minor, written in 1866, is known as Winter Daydreams?
Tchaikovsky.
It is Tchaikovsky. So, Kimia, at the end of that round, no passes, you've got 10 points.
Thank you.
Next up is Matthew. So, Matthew, you start with 7 points. The score to beat as it stands is 13 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. According to a common expression about not dwelling on past mistakes, it's no use crying over spilt what?
Milk.
Yes, how many kilograms are there in a metric ton?
1,000.
Yes, in May 2023, which London club won the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley for the third consecutive year, beating Manchester United 1-0 with a goal from Sam Kerr?
Arsenal.
No, Chelsea. Julie Walters was nominated for a Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as the ballet teacher Mrs. Wilkinson in what 2000 film?
Billy Elliot.
Yes, Operation Jubilee was the code name for the Allied raid on which French channel port in 1942?
Dieppe.
Yes. What's the surname of the Scottish singer with the first names Kate Victoria, but known by the initials KT, whose UK hit albums include Eye to the Telescope, Drastic Fantastic and Tiger Suit?
Tunstall.
Yes. What's the four-letter term for the smallest and weakest animal of a single litter?
Runt.
Yes. What was the name of the former head of the KGB who led the Soviet Union from November 1982 until his death 15 months later?
Andropov.
Yes. In 2022, which town on East Falkland became the first settlement in the Falkland Islands to be awarded official city status?
Port Stanley.
Yes. In computing, the letters VPN for a service that protects an internet connection and a user's data online through encryption stand for what three-word term?
Variable Program Network.
No, Virtual Private Network. What 1980s American television drama series that won multiple Emmy Awards starred Daniel J. Travanti as the police captain Frank Furillo?
Hill Street Blues.
Yes. Which Asian country changed its name from Ceylon when it became a republic in 1972?
Sri Lanka.
Yes. What French word meaning of the night is used for a slow lyrical piece of music such as those written for piano by Chopin?
De Nuit.
No, Nocturne. The title of which ancient Greek epic poem attributed to Homer is used generally to refer to a long or arduous journey?
The Odyssey.
Yes, at a ceremony in North London in 2013, Ephraim Mervis was installed as the successor to Jonathan Sacks in the religious leadership role of Chief what?
Rabbi.
Yes, which play by Ben Jonson, first performed in 1610, features a fraudulent doctor and mystic called Subtle as its title character?
Volpone.
No, The Alchemist. The US state of Virginia was named after which English monarch?
Queen Elizabeth.
Yes. Which 19th century British biologist was nicknamed Darwin's bulldog because of his enthusiastic support of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution?
Smith.
No, Thomas Henry Huxley. Matthew, you had no passes at the end of that round. You've got a total of 20 points.
Thank you.
Next up, it's Sharon. So, Sharon, you start with 8 points. The score to beat as it stands is 20 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The word sub, spelt S-U-B, is an informal name for what nautical vessel that can travel underwater?
Submarine.
Yes, an Orcadian is a native or inhabitant of which group of Scottish islands?
The Orkneys.
Yes, Orkney. What's the surname of the husband and wife team Dick and Angel who, from 2016 to 2022, presented the television series Escape to the Chateau?
Drawbridge.
Yes. What term from a Latin word meaning to chew over or meditate upon is applied to mammals such as cattle and camels that chew the cud?
Ruminant.
Yes. Which American pop group made up of 3 siblings named Kevin, Joe and Nick had a UK hit single in 2019 entitled Sucker from their #2 album Happiness Begins?
The Jonas Brothers.
Yes, the word dunny is an Australian slang term for what plumbing installation?
Lavatory.
Yes, what pseudonym was adopted by the outspoken French writer and philosopher François-Marie Arouet in the early 18th century?
Bennett.
No, Voltaire. What word, which translates from Italian as little book, is used to refer to the text of an opera?
Libretto.
Yes, the actress Lois Maxwell appeared in 14 James Bond films playing which character?
Moneypenny.
Yes, what was the name of the Norman bishop and Earl of Kent, a half-brother of William the Conqueror, who is believed to have commissioned the Bayeux Tapestry?
Ethelred.
No, Bishop Odo. What name, partly derived from the Latin word for life, was coined by the Polish chemist Casimir Funk for any of a group of nutrients required to maintain normal health?
Vitamin.
Yes, for 3 consecutive years, from 1988 to 1990, the Wimbledon men's singles final was contested between Stefan Edberg and which German tennis player?
Boris Becker.
Yes, in the human skeleton, the bony tip of the elbow, known as the olecranon, is a projecting part of which bone of the arm?
Ulnar.
Yes, the Bulgarian cities of Burgas and Varna are on the coast of which large inland sea?
The Black Sea.
Yes, the term coined by the drama critic Martin Esslin to describe the 1950s and 60s work of a group of playwrights, including Samuel Beckett and Eugene Ionescu, is theatre of the what?
Absurd.
Yes, what name is given to the larva of the moth Bombyx mori, which is bred in the ancient Chinese art of sericulture?
Silkworm. Moth.
Yes, in 2013, Prince Willem Alexander succeeded his mother, Queen Beatrix, as monarch of which European country?
The Netherlands.
Yes, le petit déjeuner is the French term for which meal of the day?
Breakfast.
Yes, what name given in the book of Revelation in the New Testament to the final battle at the end of the world between the forces of good and evil? I've started to all finish. Is now commonly used to refer to any destructive conflict on a huge scale.
Apocalypse.
Armageddon. Sharon, at the end of that round, no passes, and you've got 24 points.
Thank you.
And finally, let's have Graham again, please. So, Graham, you start with 13 points, the score to beat to get through to the semi-finals is Sharon's 24 points, and you've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The world's second highest mountain is usually referred to by what name consisting of a letter and a number?
K2.
Yes, Handschuh, which translates literally as handschuh, is the German word for what item of clothing?
Slipper.
No, glove. Which actress won her first Oscar for her performance in the 1988 film The Accused?
Jodie Foster.
Yes, what name, partly derived from the Greek word for animal, is given to the branch of biology that involves the study of animals?
Fauna.
No, zoology. On the 1st of January 2023, which country became the 20th EU member state to adopt the euro as its basic unit of currency?
Croatia.
Yes, the 2 title characters in a children's television series first shown in 1990 about 2 rag dolls who live on a canal boat are called Rosie and what?
Jim.
Yes, which American city is home to theatres named after Richard Rodgers, Neil Simon, James Earl Jones and Eugene O'Neill, among others?
New York.
Yes. What 6-letter word in which every other letter is a Y refers to a point on the moon's orbit when it's in conjunction with or in opposition to the sun?
Apogee.
No, syzygy. The Italian-American singer Concetta Franconero, who topped the UK singles chart in 1958 with Who's Sorry Now, is better known by what name?
Rita Moreno.
No, Connie Francis. In June 2022, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson became the first black woman to be sworn in as a member of which American judicial body?
The Supreme Court.
Yes, the Swedish chemist Carl Wilhelm Scheele is best remembered for his role in the discovery of which chemical element in the 1770s, which he gave the name fire air?
Phosphorus.
No, oxygen. The 2 main constituents of the alloy Constantan, noted for its consistently high resistivity over a wide range of temperatures, are copper and which other metal?
Zinc.
No, nickel. What fine soft wool is obtained from a Himalayan goat named after a disputed region on the border between India and Pakistan?
Kashmir.
Yes, a museum in Great Missenden in Buckinghamshire is dedicated to which children's author who lived in the village for 36 years and wrote in a hut at the bottom of his garden?
Roald Dahl.
Yes, which king of England was born in 1452 at Fotheringay Castle in Northamptonshire?
Edward III.
No, Richard III. What perennial plant, sometimes known as belladonna, has traditionally been associated with myths about the devil because of its highly poisonous shiny blackberries?
Mugwort.
No, deadly nightshade. The Metropolitan Cathedral of the Precious Blood of our Lord Jesus Christ is the full name of which Roman Catholic church in central London?
Westminster Cathedral.
Yes. What deep shade of red? I've studied all finished. What deep shade of red is named after a former kingdom and duchy in modern-day East Central France because of the colour of most wine produced in the region?
Burgundy.
It is Burgundy. So, Graham, at the end of that round, you had no passes and you've got 23 points. So, let's have a look at the final scores. In fourth place with 10 points, it's Kimia. In third place with 20 points, it's Matthew. In second place with 23 points, sits Graham. And in first place with 24 points, it's Sharon, which means she goes through to the semi-finals. Congratulations to her. If you'd like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Oh my goodness, I'm completely astonished. This is the last thing in the world I expected. Good Lord. Surprised, shocked, mortified, all of those things, I think.
And your specialist subject?
The League of Gentlemen. Oh, for the specialist subject round, I should have got that Nietzsche question right.
Quotation by which German philosopher is seen on the Chapel of Hope church hoarding?
Kant?
No, Nietzsche.
I'm so embarrassed at myself for that one. I was watching that literally just the other day. I don't know why I said Kant. I know I meant to say Nietzsche, but yeah. So it goes. It was just the one question, I guess.
So, Sharon, at the end of that round, no passes. You've got 8 points.
Thank you. I think that the general knowledge round went very well. I was really confident in the questions that came through. Ruminant.
Yes.
Libretto.
Yes.
Breakfast.
Yes. Sharon, at the end of that round, no passes, and you've got 24 points.
Thank you. This is the first quiz I've ever applied to, because you might as well go for the most difficult one first, right? You don't just mess around in the lower leagues. You go straight for the top.
And in first place, with 24 points, it's Sharon, which means she goes through to the semi-finals.
So getting through to the semi-finals, I think it'll give me some bragging rights with everyone else, all my friends at the pub quiz in Cardiff on Thursday.